Welcome, everybody. Buen dia. Just a few minutes of chat before we get started with our Relax Your Mind meditation. And a reminder of that the way we're doing these sessions together is as best as we can. The idea is to release all striving. Release all trying. There's no way to do it wrong. The intention is to spend time with yourself in an open, friendly attitude and allow really to give yourself space and airtime to anything that needs to come up, to let it come up and to just be with yourself to the best of your ability. There may be emotions coming up. There may be thoughts coming up. There may be energy that's coming up that you're sensing and feeling. We're giving all these aspects of yourself airtime while we remain calm and relaxed to be with ourselves. I wanted to remind you also that if after the practice you want to give me a comment or feedback, that's helpful. So if you want to give a comment or a thumbs up or anything, so that way I know my equipment's running and the practice is helpful. Like it's helpful for me to know what's helpful for you. Also, if there's something in particular that you wanted to address or work on, a specific breathing technique or a practice that might address an issue of anxiety or worry or depression, just let me know, tag me, or I could probably see what it is that you're looking for and I can create a practice for that. And I'll tag you to let you know that the practice is ready for you. Big shout out, big raise the roof for the Body Electric Yoga Company and the Body Electric Athletic Company for providing these live streams consistently for us while we're in this time of perceived seclusion and this time of perceived quarantine. It is a beautiful way to connect. It's a beautiful way to try a different teacher that you might not necessarily practice with. It's a way to try a new class that you might not necessarily do otherwise. Yesterday I did a core focus class with Dr. Lance Robbins on the Be Athletic page, which I probably normally wouldn't do. So it's a great opportunity to try something new and to continue your practice. So that all being said, we are dedicated to our community, not only just our local community, but this idea of the community of the world. We're all going through this together, and we have dedicated ourselves to the world community. So that's why I always have the Venmo information for you to give as your heart guides. If you have a tithing practice, this is my opinion, a great way or a great place to tithe. If you do not have a tithing practice and you always wanted to have one, it's a nice place to start supporting the Body Electric Yoga in any way that your heart guides. So I'm just going to lightly drop that in. So as you all start to prepare your throne, and that's just a fancy way of gathering your bolsters and your blankets and your cushions and creating a shape of the body that's supported and sustainable. As you gather and create your throne, I believe we're going to be doing Madhyama Mudra. And it's kind of funny because it's actually the mudra of the middle finger. The middle fingers point out and they lightly touch, and the other fingers are pointing in towards the hand. And this is it can be a hard mudra to hold. A lot of the meditations that we're doing during this time of the crown, of the corona, a lot of the mudras that we're doing, or in the meditations that we're doing, are really, the intention is just to be relaxed and to spend time with yourself. So I've been playing around with different variations of this mudra, and you can always just entwine the middle fingers together, and any way or shape that seems very relaxed to you, the fingers can be very relaxed. You could also just put your hands on your belly and just touch the tips of the middle fingers, allowing the other fingers to be spread out and relaxed. If the nails are long and it feels like the fingers are poking into each other with the nails, you can just separate the hands and just imagine or feel the sensation of the middle fingers. And this mudra, the mudra just gives us a way to focus on an aspect of our being. And the aspect of our being that we're going to be working with today is this samana vayu, which is a current of air it expands in all directions simultaneously. It's like I said, a current, a way that the breath expands in all directions simultaneously, like a balloon. When you blow up a balloon, it doesn't just expand in the front or the back or the top or the bottom. It expands outward simultaneously. All edges expand equally. And this is the current that we're going to be working with. And also, the idea is to bring balance into the expenditure of energy for us throughout the day. So that there's a balance of rest and there's balances of activity. So these productivity and rest periods are more balanced, and the activity kind of smooths out and there's a harmony to the activity, rather than this pushing and trying to be productive, or this berating ourselves when we're resting. So this meditation today is for us to kind of balance out and bring more harmony to our activity, our rest periods, and our active periods. You can always ditch the mudra. It's just an accessory. I'll call it an accessory because we're really going to be working with the current of the breath. Okay, my friends, that was a lot of talking. That all being said, I'll ring our bell. We'll start in the way that we always start. Several slow, long, smooth, deep breaths. Extend a warm, friendly welcome to all aspects of yourself. Your mental aspect, your physical, your emotions, the energetic aspect of yourself, the bliss aspect of yourself. It's like symbolically, you're opening up your hands and you're giving all aspects of yourself a big smile and you're saying, welcome, welcome. And invite the wholeness of your being, your great self, the deep self, this wholeness of your being that holds the space of complete non-judgment and that knows the truth about you. So we invite all aspects of ourself, including the wholeness of your being, the great self, the deep self. As you notice that you're breathing softly and smoothly through both nostrils, so begin to bring the attention and awareness to both nostrils and feel the air flow in and feel the air flow out, igniting your sense of touch. Notice that there's a temperature to the air as you breathe in, and there's a temperature to the air as you breathe out. Engaging your sense of touch, the skin on the edges of both nostrils. We'll change the breath now, breathing in through both nostrils easily, softly opening the mouth, and take a sigh out. So breathe in gently through both nostrils. And take a sigh out. A few more times on your own. And notice with each sigh out the mouth, the body grows heavier, more relaxed. Allow the lips to come together as you continue to breathe smoothly through your nostrils. And then really notice that the lips are coming together with light intention, that you release all pressing of the lips or pursing, and invite everything, all the small little muscles around the lips to relax. Now, invite the insides of the cheeks to relax. Soften the base of the tongue, the root of the tongue. And make your tongue very comfortable. We'll begin our count. The count is at your pace, counting from backwards from 10 to 1, inhaling 10 and exhaling 10. The count is in your mind, silently and sacredly. So we'll begin inhaling through both nostrils, 10, and exhaling 10. Inhaling 9 and exhaling 9. Inhaling 8 and exhaling 8. 7, 7, 6, 6. On your own now. Stay with the breath. Notice where you are in your count. Allow the count to dissolve and come back to your breath. Notice that the breath is more or less equal. The quality of the breath has an equanimity to it. The inhale more or less matches the exhale. So there's a balanced quality to the breath. The amount of air that you draw in for the inhale more or less is equal to the amount of air that you exhale. The length of the inhale more or less, just more or less, equals the length of the exhale. We'll begin to move the hands into Madhyama Mudra, this gesture of the middle finger. Place your hands on your belly. Relax the shoulders and the arms. And then lightly touch the middle fingers, the tips of the middle fingers together. Notice how that feels. Explore how you can make this more comfortable. Maybe the other fingers curl in towards the center or just slightly under. Or maybe you leave the fingers extended and you just have this light touch of the tip of the middle fingers together. Hands totally relaxed. If the fingers are curled under, let it be very light. Can you make the hands, while holding this shape, more comfortable? Now begin to notice that as your hands are on your belly, that you feel your breath moving into your hands. Shoulders stay relaxed. Upper arms are relaxed. Relax the forearms. Breathe into your hands. And imagine that where your hands are placed is the center of your breath. And that as you inhale, your breath is expanding out from the center of your breath. And as you exhale, your breath is coming back to the center where you feel your hands. The breath is expanding out on the inhalation from the center of your hands. And then as you exhale, the breath is coming back to the center where you feel your hands. If at any time the shape of the hands feel uncomfortable, release the mudra and relax the hands down. Now, as you continue to feel your breath moving out from the center on the exhalation and then moving into the center on the exhalation, imagine that the breath is moving equally up and down. So it's moving equally on the inhale, downward and upward at the same time simultaneously. So as you inhale, the breath is moving equally down and up. And then as you exhale, the breath moves back to the center. On your next breath, imagine that the breath again is moving out from the center and it's moving equally simultaneously front and back. So you're letting the breath move equally on your inhale to the front and the back. And then on the exhale, it draws inward equally to the center. So take a few breaths as you inhale, allowing the breath to move equally front and back. You may feel it physically. You might just be using your imagination. It's all okay. However you experience this simultaneous expansion on the inhale to the front and the back is perfect for you. Draw the breath to the center again. And as you inhale, imagine that your breath is expanding to the sides, to the right and the left equally, in equal amounts simultaneously. And then as you exhale, it draws back into the center. And as you inhale, it expands out to the sides. And as you exhale, it draws back into the center. And you may just be using your imagination, allowing everything to be easeful as you experience or imagine the breath moving equally out to the sides. Now exhale and draw the breath into the center. And as you inhale, imagine that your breath is expanding in all directions equally simultaneously. So as you inhale, it's moving up and down, front and back, and to the sides. And as you exhale, it draws in to the center. As you inhale, the breath expands out equally and on all sides like a balloon. And then as you exhale, there's this soft coming in towards the center. And play with this samana vayu, this expansion of balance, equal expansion, and then softening towards the center. You can play with the expansion of the breath. Maybe as you inhale, you imagine that this expansion is flowing way out. You can play with the undulation of the borders. As you exhale, you can draw the breath all the way into the center. Or as you exhale, you can just allow the borders of this breath to softly come in just a bit. And as you inhale, the borders and the expansion of the breath flow out just a little bit beyond. Notice how you have the ability and the control, using your imagination, how you want to play with your breath. As you explore this equal expansion and recession. Notice that you can make this exploration very soft, releasing all need to strive to make it look any certain way or to have an experience of it of any certain way. You're just allowing the breath to flow out in all directions. And then on the exhalation, the breath comes in to the center. Now, release the mudra if you're holding the mudra. Allow the breathing technique to dissolve. Return to your natural, neutral breath. And consider that throughout the day, as you are moving about your day, you have the ability to regulate your energy. That with a few breaths, you can regulate your energy as you move throughout the day. Balancing periods of rest with periods of activity, so that there is a harmony and a regulation of your energy. Feel your breath effortless, smooth, and equal. And we'll rest for a few moments deeply in moments of silence, breathing softly. You may rest in this space of harmony and energetic balance for as long as you'd like. And when you are ready, gently open your eyes.